But I say unto you, love your enemies. Bless them that curse you. Do good to them that hate you. And pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you.
Which is the first commandment of all?
Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might, and with all thy strength. This is the first and great commandment, and the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets.
Master, thou hast said the truth. There is one God, and none other but He. And to love Him with all the heart, and with all the understanding, and with all the soul, and with all the strength, and to love his neighbor as himself, is more than all the whole burnt offerings and sacrifices.
Thou art not far from the kingdom of God.
Haven't you figured it out by now? Hey, Gudgies and Gudgiette. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. I'm all achy. It's the first time I've been in a job for a little while, so I'm a little bit achy. But I should get finished that painting job tomorrow. But it's a good start, you know. At least I'll get my name about. Might get more painting jobs than that. You know what I mean? That'll be all good. That'll be all good. Bit extra money coming in, wouldn't go amiss. You know, but yeah. So fair play to Harry. It's Harry who got me this job with his landlord. So yeah, I'm sure once I've done his, he'll have a few other jobs and stuff, and maybe pass it on to the rest of his family. You know, they own property and stuff like that. So that'd be cool. That'd be cool. I'm not charging them like paint or decorator prices. You know, I'm a shit painter, but I can paint. You know what I mean? I can paint houses, but I'm not going to charge them £200-300 a day like some other people do. You know, I'm not like that. I'd charge them 50 at the most. You know what I mean? 50 quid at the most a day. Anyway, Jimenez. Good to see you, Bazda. Good to see you. I know Roger's at work, going to work. Good to see you, Heron. And I think that's it. It's only you two in. I mean, there's 9 watching, but there's only 8 watching, but there's only you guys in chat. I'm just wondering if the rest of the people watching are going to be trolls. Anyways, whatever. Make sure you don't underpay. I know that. But I mean, you know, if I do a good job for cheap enough, then he's got to pass it on. It's not under 50 quid's all right. I mean, it's not like I did a full 8 hours. I did like 5 hours. You know what I mean? So 50 quid's all right. 50 quid. That's like 10 or an hour sort of thing. 50 quid's all right. I usually just when I do a paint job, because I'm not doing it professionally, I'm just doing it because I can paint. You know, I'm all right at painting. Because I was a shit painter. So if you can paint a shit, you can paint a house. So yeah, no, 50 quid's okay. I don't want to be, you know, I don't want to be greedy, and obviously I don't want to undercharge myself. But who's that? All right. All right, bro. I've just gone live. You all right? All right. Is there any problems? Oh yeah, I was typing that just as my intro was going on. Something for me to do. Something for me to do when my intro was playing. All right, bless man. Is it all right though? Is it out? Ah, right. So you're gonna have to be sedated, aren't you? Yeah. Right. Got you. All right, Harvey. Yeah, give me a text. Let me know more about it if you need some more. I'll be there probably about 9 in the morning tomorrow. Probably I've got to try and get there for 9. You know what I mean? What time do you leave for work? What time? All right, cool. Oh, cool. So I'll miss you in the morning anyway, but I'll see you when you get back. All right, bro. Not a problem. Yeah. All right, no problems. That'll be cool. I could always bring my milk with me anyway. You know what I mean? All right. Right, cool. I better get on with this because people are waiting. All right, bro. Bye-bye. That was Harry. Just to let me know. Yeah, because he had to go to the dentist, so he was letting me know how that went. Because I asked him, "Hey, Julie, how you doing, Miss Skeg Vegas?" Love the name. Skeg Vegas. Good to see you, Julie. Always a pleasure. As you know. Hey guys, this is Skeg Vegas, Bazda. This is Julie. Heron. Skeg Vegas is Julie. Very good friend of mine. Is there anybody else in chat at the minute? No. There's 10 watching though, but there's nobody else. Oh, One Mind. See you there, bro. Good to see you. One Mind. This is Julie. Skeg Vegas is Julie. And it's good to see you guys as always. Right, let's do Jimenez. Let's do Jimenez. See, he's got a new one. he's kind of gone away from the observations and started trolling Sam and Mikey and all that by the looks of it. Let's have a look. Anyway, it's only a 40-second one, so I'll have to look for one of Jim's old ones. Yeah, he's just trolling them now, which I don't blame him. Look, they've been slagging him off, calling him a fraud, just because he doesn't talk in his videos. They're observations. You don't need to talk. I mean, it's stupid. Anyway, I keep getting copyrighted on these, Jim, if you're watching. Anyway. My goodness. What the heck? All of them. Oh, Brenda. Oh, Brenda dude in the middle there. Brenda, he actually wishes he looked like that. He wishes. Yeah, Brenda's a she-man, by the way. Manishi. Oh, finished. Right. Okay. So let's find an observation. Did I just see a real life, what you call them? Oh, Beavis and Butthead there. I just, a live version of Beavis and Butthead. I'm sure it was. Anyway, not oldest. Yeah, popular. Let's do popular. Popular. Come on. Right, sorry. Let me just blast down a bit. See what we got. Go down for a little bit. Ooh, right, it should do. See, these ones are getting popular then. Right, let's do. Come on, wait for the times to come up. Star, that's 40 minutes. Let's do this one. Hold on. Oh, I ain't put the link in yet. Let's do. Oh, what's this one? The triple. Let's do this one. 8 months ago. All right. I just seen that having said when I said people. I was only a few people in chat, but 10 was watching. Heaven said, oh no, not that one. Just Dr. Phill fans watching secretly. Well, I'm certainly not a Dr. Phill fan. I think what he does is terrible. It's disguised as good, but you know, it's not. It's not. Same as likes of Oprah, same as Ellen DeGeneres. You know, all these types of people. They look good on the surface, but when you start scratching underneath that surface, or not even getting to the core, they're awful. They're awful. Another thing about awful people. I really do. No, he's not a doctor, and he hasn't even got his certificate anymore. There's a certificate he needed that he had to renew, and he hasn't even got that anymore. Some whatever he's called, classed what is classed like a clinical psychologist or something like that. He hasn't even got that anymore, and he still does the same garb because people trust him, and I don't know why. It's all for money, and some of the advice he gives people is total garbage, and they're exploiting these people the same as Jeremy Kyle in the UK was exploiting these people because it was mainly low income, non-working, drug addicted, alcoholic, you know what I mean? That type of people that Jeremy Kyle brought on. And that's the kind of, I dare say, that's the kind of thing that Dr. Phill was doing. Not them all, but you know, and people that have a lot of problems, that's the kind of people that, and like Jeremy Kyle just used to, he exploited them, you know? Some of the things he said were right. It's how he said them. That he was awful, you know. And I'm glad he got cancelled. Ooh, nice one, Jim. That finished properly, that one. Anyways, let's get the link out and let's get on with this. It's a half-an-hour video. Then we'll head over to Rumble for the two bouts. You guys pick. It's up to you guys. If anybody comes in that knows anything about boxing that can pick, they can. If not, when we get over there, I'll just have to pick something. And then the movie is tonight is The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. You know, the one where with Brad Pitt, where he starts off as an old man and decreases in age, regresses in age, all the way till he's unborn. Anyway, nice one, Jim. And anybody watching the chat replay, there's Jim's link right there. Cool. Nice. Okay. Oh, link. I need to get the link for the video. For the video. 2 seconds. Oh, I found a video called Parents of the Nephilim by my lunch break, and I'd like to have a look at that, see what he's talking about. I haven't watched it. I watched a couple of minutes, and it goes into like asylums and stuff like that, asylum buildings back in the day and certain things. So, yeah, it'd be interesting. It's called Parents of Nephilim, which were the Watchers, obviously, but it goes into asylums and all that. So, yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that one day. Kenneth Copeland's wife is in a satanic situation, which is, Kenneth Copeland always says, look, it's never in God's will for you to be ill, that's of the devil. His wife's got dementia and they can't get her any better. So, they always say that it's not in God. And they always blame people that lose their healing or didn't get healed at all for lack of faith. So is this lack of faith? No, they won't say that about themselves, though, guaranteed. They'll change their doctrine before they do that. Anyway, let's just get to it. Where is it? Dr. Phill, where are you? There we are. Never done anything off this channel before. It's a channel called Lou Extras. Right, let's do it. Let's get this up. Now. This is a link to the video I'm using. If you want to sub to the channel afterwards, I don't think it's a Christian channel or anything, but, might have some good info with stuff. Right, let's do this and see what they're saying about Mr. Phill. Because like there it says, he's not a doctor. The victims of Dr. Phill. All right, let's do it. Let's do this. Again, links down there if anyone wants to come in. Get me down there. Bigger screen. Sorted. Let's do this.
Is a literal pillar of daytime television in America.
How you start? Just a literal pillar? Why does it do that to me? It never goes right on the button, right there.
Over an on-screen career that began way back when he used to appear as a guest on Oprah, he has built a media empire.
That's right. He didn't always have his own show to start off with. He was a guest, wasn't he? He was a guest on Oprah and stuff like that. Then Oprah gave him his own show. Well, I think it was Oprah or her company, Harpo Productions or whatever, gave him his own show where he was the host. Yeah, I remember that. I remember him being on Oprah and stuff like that before he had his own thing. It's like Jerry Springer's Steve, the bodyguard. He ended up with his own series.
That he probably never imagined when he first became a board-certified and licensed clinical psychologist in 1978.
There you go. I was right. A licensed clinical psychologist. Now, if you're a licensed clinical psychologist, that needs updating every few years or whatever it is. And he never did that. He just continued with the program and with the series. We call it programs over here, which makes sense. The joint program, channel from the television. Anyway, the broadcast, whatever. Yeah. So I was, clinical psychologist. Like I say, that needs to be updated every now and again. And I think after a few years or whatever, once he got big on telly, I think he stopped renewing it.
During his lengthy spell in the public eye, He had arguably helped remove the stigma around mental health, with a study from Texas Tech in 2016 suggesting that he's made a real impact on the number of people seeking
No,
assistance.
why is it giving me the jump ahead here when this is not even a sponsor? So you get to jump ahead on intros as well. Weird. That must be what premium does. I'm not going to jump ahead though.
For not only them, but their kids. Meanwhile, the public that's looked on at his professional life for years has developed a parasocial relationship with him. With the arrival of YouTube, only
A lot of people nowadays, because of online influencers and channels, have got a parasocial relationship. You know, it's all one-sided because, like, all these viewers love a certain YouTuber or whatever, but that YouTuber hasn't got that same relationship with them. He doesn't care. He just knows that they're a sub somewhere, you know? I mean, unlike me, I probably know most of my subs through, you know, being on YouTube because I ain't got that many. I've probably come across them at some point, not knowing them in real life. I mean, I've met one in real life, that's for sure, Michael Kahn, but, you know, parasocial relationships, they happen, don't they? One-sided. And why would you want a parasocial relationship with Dr. Phill? I do not know. Is it because bald men are more virile? What's that? So, freaking Dr. Phill is said some common sense shite. Now go ooh ah and pay me. Right, exactly, bro. That's pretty much what it is. It's pretty much what it is. But I also have seen him giving bad advice. You know, really bad advice. Same as like a lot of people on these shows.
expanding his reach and taking his well-spoken and frank talking therapist to an even larger audience that he could have conceived of. But while some people will celebrate him for
Dr. Phill says, don't smack yourself in the nuts with a hammer, everybody. Oh, yeah. Nice. Now, he's going to tell this dude probably, like, you need to go on a diet. You need to, like, you know, cut out the food, get on an exercise program to start off slowly. It's an addiction, you know. It's an addiction that you need. What I mean, it must be bad, you know, being addicted to something you actually need. Like, I was addicted to heroin and crack and stuff like that. Now, even though it was a physical addiction to heroin, I did not. I wouldn't have died if I didn't have it. I mean, it would have been very uncomfortable, but I wouldn't have died. My body doesn't need heroin. It needs heroin. It needed heroin to stay, to be well at one point, but it didn't need it to live. You need food to live, and some people are addicted to food. Now, his good advice to that dude there would probably, you need a diet. You know, hey, Julie's back. He's good at what he does. Yeah, there's a lot of victims that might say some different. He might be good at what he does on the surface level. It's like Ellen DeGeneres. She seemed like she was good at what she does, and she turned out to be awful. You know, and Oprah seemed good at what she did, but she turned out to be awful. I mean, it might be good for some people. It might be subjective. You know, it might be a subjective thing. I don't know. But this is about his victims anyway. Let's see what they say. I don't know. I just know certain little bad things about him. You know, I don't know a lot. That's why I'm learning myself. Need to diet. What color is it now? Dying from blue to red, bro. From you know, one primary color to another.
the lives he's changed, there are some incidents which suggest that
that was how it played. Here's Johnny, the Shining's wife. What's her name again in real life? Can't remember her name in real life, but she ended up being a little bit tapped in the head, didn't she? I remember this, and I don't think he did well with that.
a lot of what he does isn't truly for anyone's welfare, but for his own wealth and the manufacturing of drama for ratings.
Right. I
Did
mean,
you ever touch?
it is for his own wealth. It is for his own wealth, absolutely. If he helps someone in the meantime, that's a good thing. But is that why he's doing it? No, he's doing it for the money, you know? Yeah, but watching hundreds of episodes, that's a surface thing. you know, her, and that doesn't go into like the background, you know, that doesn't go into the people who have actually been victimized by him, you know. I mean, it's like Ellen DeGeneres, you know. Yes, Shelley Duvall. That's it, Shelley Duvall. It's a surface level watching it on telly, isn't it? You're not getting anything but what he says on his show to the audience and to whoever's there opposite him, who he's meant to be treating. I suppose, like I say, he's not even a doctor. He didn't even renew his clinical psychology certificate, whatever you want to call it. He didn't even renew it. No, that makes a difference to knowledge, you know, but legally it makes a difference, I suppose, somewhere. I think what Dr. Phill does is just quite, I mean, the good advice that he does do, I think it's quite common sense. You know, what he says is common sense. Yeah, Bouts, I don't know if you were here when I said it, but Skeg Vegas, Julie is Julie. But Skeg Vegas, Julie, Baza is Baza.
Jessica for a reason when she was a child.
No.
And the results were non-deceptive, that you were telling the truth.
I just think he's a bit like Jeremy Kyle, because I mean, these people is more about like they don't. Jeremy Kyle was worse in my opinion because he exploited people that were poor, you know, run of the mill, either like blue collar, as you would say, you know, like a working man, or either unemployed, addicted to drugs or addicted to alcohol, or like a lot of like problems in the family. He exploited people like that, you know. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's the same type of people on Dr. Phill, but I still think it's a form of exploitation, you know. I know they choose to go in there, but you know, it's still a form of exploiting. I mean, I think they know that, and he's making money out of it for sure. And being involved with Oprah Winfrey, I mean, that's how he started, wasn't it? I certainly wouldn't give him the go ahead. Nah, if you're involved with Oprah Winfrey, man, there's got to be something up.
Knew it.
Every time you bring a guest on this show, you exploit them and spread whatever problems they have to
Exploit, like you said.
the whole world. You think that's helping them?
Yeah, keep telling yourself that. You can go.
So this guy, he told the guy to go because he came out with a baldy shaved head, basically, just to look like him. So he couldn't handle what he thought of. Dr. Phill should have been able to take that criticism, but he's just saying, go. No, you can go. You know? Should be able to take that criticism. Or at least debate it out with him. I mean, this guy felt the need to go on there and do this for a reason, surely. I don't just understand how the celebrity status happened. Guess I don't know. Maybe just Oprah Winfrey liked him. I mean, is he part of Harpo Productions? I don't know. But he used to be under Oprah Winfrey, wasn't it? Yeah, it was a true statement, 100%. Like I was saying just beforehand about the exploitation. Yeah, absolutely.
You know what? Who do you think you are, huh?
Bye.
Come on, come on.
Huh? No, I'm not finished talking to you.
Yeah, you are.
And as the years have
See?
progressed, more and more of them have come out to shed light on their own experiences.
That was that baby, whatever. Can't remember. Is that the one that says catch me outside, something like that? Meet me outside or catch me outside. And her life was like mad after that for a bit. But I think she earned a bit of money off this. Is it Ice Spice or something? I don't know. Something baby. Can't remember.
With the famous psychologist and his team, alleging everything from financial impropriety
Catch me outside
to much darker things that left far more permanent scars. It's your boy Luesta, I'm live from Lu Extras, and these are the victims of Dr. Phill. First, let's break down how Dr. Phill even managed to get into such a position of power that allowed him to do whatever he wanted with impunity. After years as a psychologist, a shift into a trial consulting firm put him in.
Let's grab my coffee. Right. I don't want to miss any of this song. I'm going to put on a song while I make coffee. It won't be long. It'll be like I won't even finish the song. Sorry about that. I need my coffee. My mouth's dry. Let's do another. Let's do another heron one. All the girls like Reggie. Heavens and Dr. Phill. It's that Dr. Phill exploiting you, Heron, like he does everybody else. I know it's good to be on there. I know it's good to get your 15 minutes of fame and all that, but come on. I'm sure he exploited you too. Nice. Right, let's continue. Sorry about that. I had to grab a coffee. Well, actually, it's not coffee, it's a latte. I never got any coffee. I had to use some lattes I had in the cupboard instead because I forgot coffee. So, latte. It's not exactly, it's got like a coffee bean in it or something. It's a vanilla latte, though. At least it's a nice enough taste.
The orbit of Oprah Winfrey, with the company aiding Winfrey to overcome a libel lawsuit after she claimed that cattle ranchers in Texas had been feeding animal proteins to their livestock. Impressed by his performance and the guidance he gave her,
Well,
Phill
they probably were. I mean, I don't like Oprah Winfrey, but that was probably true that we're feeding proteins to the livestock. I mean, why wouldn't they? But they're probably feeding them, cannibalizing them, and getting them to eat themselves, type thing. Not themselves, but animals like them or proteins from animals like them. Maybe. I don't know. Why haven't I got the chat on? There we go. So it. Right, continue.
McGraw became a semi-regular visitor to the show, dispersing advice to viewers on all manner of issues. And over time, his name value increased to the point that he eventually got the opportunity to launch his own program that he believed could be transformative for the lives of those who got involved. My show isn't just about guests who turn on me for help. It's about inspiring viewers to deal with an issue that was scary or threatening, so they can then make a change or get the support that they need, said Dr. Phill. This study shows that we are helping make mental health and the pursuit of mental health an acceptable narrative in society. Tackling serious problems of all kinds, the show, which averaged 2 million viewers per episode, was billed as a force for good. Along the way, Dr. Phill racked up an apparent net worth of 400 million, despite the fact that he hasn't exactly
100 million. So he can get 400 houses that cost $1 million each. Or he can live the rest of his life in luxury and not have to touch that 400 million. You know? Crazy. I know $1 million is not as much as it used to be, but still 400 million is $500 million. So, you know, that's a lot of money. Not near enough $500 million.
Practiced as a psychologist since 2006. In fact, he was unlicensed in the state of California, where his show was shot for its
So he was unlicensed in California where it was shot, okay?
entire duration. But what many people don't know about is the sinister
I mean, I
incident
don't put, you know, any stalking qualifications and stuff like that. But, you know, legally, he was probably not in the right, you know? I don't care about people's qualifications and that. But, you know, when you're going to someone that messes with your head, you want them to know what they're talking about.
which led him to alter his career path in the first place. In an unauthorized book named The Making of Dr. Phill, claims are made that Phill was abusive to a client who was 19 years old at the time. According to the anonymous testimony, it's alleged that McGraw touched her inappropriately, insisted that she checked in with him often, and kept her totally dependent on him.
Right.
Eventually, these accusations were brought before the board, who issued a letter of reprimand and ordered that Dr. Phill undergo a year of supervision in an ethics class. And looking back, people are not exactly shocked that he switched up his profession shortly after the damage to his reputation. However, this wasn't the only issue that he had before he became a household name. Over the years,
that Lucy from the Peanuts comic gets 5 cents. What do you mean 5 cents? Only gets paid 5 cents for the comic. Is that what you mean? Lucy from Peanuts comic, which is Snoopy, isn't it? Peanuts is Snoopy. I always call Peanuts Snoopy. I know it's called Peanuts, but I always called it a Snoopy comic because I thought it was all about Snoopy and Charlie Brown. And is that Charlie Brown and Snoopy you're on about? So are you saying one of these people that speaks to Dr. Phill is Lucy? Oh, she's a psychologist and she gets what? 5 cents? What do you mean 5 cents? Hi, Snoopy, but 5 cents? 5 cents is nothing. Or do you mean I don't know, is 5 cents like a nickname for something bigger? Anyway, let me know.
a former business partner of McGraw named Thelma Box has alleged that Phill sold his stake in their self-help seminar company Pathways to a third party, a full year before he let her know about it. And to make matters worse, it was believed that many of his methods came from their system, but that he persistently refused to acknowledge Box's role in creating them. Speaking to those who were around him at this time paints an unflattering picture, suggesting a man who was both ruthless in business and also craved power. It's like playing golf with someone who moves the ball around all the time, recalled Eldon Box.
Yeah, that would be annoying. Someone playing golf and moving the road. Especially when you get this thing like Jack, what's his name on blooming Kick and all that. Jack Doherty, you know, nuisance IRL streamers going to people playing golf and just as they're about to take their shot, shouting things like "Wanga, bullshit," you know, that's a horrible thing to do, man. You know, people are just trying to relax when they're playing golf, and people that play golf and take it seriously get very, very, very agitated about things like that. Of course, Lucy on Peanuts used to charge Charlie Brown. But, I see. But right, now I get it. Now I get it, Buzzer. Now I get it. 5 cents for advice. Right, now I get it. I didn't watch. I remember the last time I watched Charlie Brown Snoopy was when I was on videotape. I watched it on VHS the same time as I was watching Garfield, probably when I was, I don't know, 10, 11. I get it now. I get it now. So, Buzz, if you're typing out a long one, you don't need to.
Thelma's son, and at one time a close friend. I put Phill in a couple of oil field deals, and everyone pays me but him. Phill is a smart son of a bitch. But he's only out for one thing, and that's Phill.
There's no dying. There's no dying. There's no denying that he's smart. You know, I mean, smart doesn't equal virtuous, you know?
He got in the front of the room. It didn't take long for him to feel the power, revealed David Dickinson, who also helped Bouts organize pathways. He loved being godliked and worshipped. The only reason it didn't become a cult is because Thelma wouldn't let it. I have seen him on Oprah, and it's amazing. The phrases and the terminology and the quaint sayings, that's right out of the program. He always wanted people to believe that the seminar
Right out of the program. There's that word again, programming.
Came from him. His fear was that he would be exposed as not being the guru he put himself up to being. Through examples like these, the notion that Dr. Phill is a shining example.
I mean, a lot of what they do is just common sense. You know what? I mean, the advice they give, some of the advice that they give is just common sense, to be honest. And then he's getting this large stacks of money for saying something that should be common sense.
Or role model begins to fall under scrutiny. And once he fled to the world of television, the quantity of controversies ramped up to ridiculous levels. Once Dr. Phill transitioned from a therapeutic role to television, his self-styled approach to his profession landed him in hot water on several occasions.
If you're doing it in the office, in the surgery, not surgery, but office, whatever you're doing, where you're doing it, you're going to do it professionally. But then you come to TV, there's no way you're going to just be that same professional person you were in your office. You're going to act up for the channel. You know what I mean? You're going to have to keep people interested, you know? So can you say narcissist? All right, well, mine. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Yeah. So how you would act in your office would be different from how you would on TV. Surely. You got to keep viewers interested. Can't just be shit boring. Yeah, well, you know, we're a bit overweight, so, you know, a few less calories and a bit of exercise. That'd be brilliant. No, you've got to play up to the cameras a little bit. You've got to make a bit of drama go. You've got to have a little bit of drama. You know, you maybe tell the, what you call them? The guests. You need to tell the guests, the one that they're talking to, or maybe you should get a little bit upset, you know, cry, or maybe angry, you know, for view's sake. Just like being on YouTube when YouTubers clickbait and do things, subbait, clickbait, all different things for views. I mean, you look at my view count, you know I do nothing for views. You know, I'm not even hitting 100 views nowadays. Oh, why is everything being all glitchy again? Things being glitchy again. Anyway, don't do that to me.
Back in 2004, he came under fire from National Alliance for the Mentally Ill when he labeled a 9-year-old kid a serial killer in the making.
For the most violent of criminals, there are 14 traits of serial killers. Now meet parents terrified of their own young son who has 9 of the 14 traits.
Once this episode aired, Nami demanded that something be done. Dr. Phil's conduct is serious enough to warrant
someone 9 of the 14 traits, so they give that beforehand, so it gets people hyped up and interested, you know. Hey, Luca.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Are you just going to stay 10 minutes and disappear again?
Okay.
And so that's what you usually do. I'm just saying, you come in, say hi. You don't like what I'm doing or saying, you just disappear. So I'm just saying.
Well,
how's you?
I'm going good. How are you?
Yeah, all good. I've just finished. I've just not finished working. So doing a paint job, and got back, sorted out my stream.
Oh,
No, yeah.
a paint job.
Yeah,
What
decorating.
are you painting?
Decorate a house, a hallway.
Oh, you're
Someone's
painting the house.
Not mine, someone else's. It's a job.
Oh.
It's a job we've been paid for. So
Oh, you've
not
been
mine. I don't.
okay.
Yeah, there's no point in
How
painting mine. There's no point in painting mine. There's
Yeah.
no point in painting mine because this place is getting knocked down within 2
Oh,
years.
it is.
Yeah, this place is getting knocked down. Yeah.
What,
Yeah.
your house?
Not
Well,
yet.
why is it getting knocked down?
Because people complain about heating it in the winter. It's too expensive. They can't heat it up, and the repairs they need to do will cost far too much. So they're knocking it down and building some better houses and stuff.
Oh,
They're
what
paying
are
it.
you gonna?
I don't
where are
know.
you
Well,
gonna live?
we've got to go on Home Finder, which is a thing where you bid for properties. So I've got to get an account of that opened up and start bidding when they tell me to in April. If I start bidding beforehand, I won't get the money that they have offered us. Because we are not making ourselves homeless and we are not moving out, it's their idea to knock this place down. They're having to pay us to get out. So they're paying us 8.1 grand. So giving 50 people, because there's 50 flats here, 8.1 grand is cheaper. That's nearly $500,000, pretty much. Is cheaper than actually doing the place up, repairing it. So that shows you it must be a lot to repair this place. It's a block of flats. It's a crap hole. It's a crap. So yeah, I was getting ready to decorate, and then that news come. So there's no decorating now. There's just no point. Be a waste of money.
see.
You know what I mean? Right.
Well,
So
hopefully it goes well.
Yeah, sure it will. Right, Dr. Phill.
How much are you getting for painting the? For painting.
I only charge 50 quid a day.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Some professionals will charge 200, 300 a day. I only charge 50 a day. And I'll be finished this job tomorrow. So that'll just be 100 for you. But it'll get me other jobs. It'll get me other ones.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
So
that's
cool.
good. That's good. Self work. That's awesome. Nice.
Absolutely.
Clap.
Right, here we go. We've got to continue.
All right.
Investigation by a relevant board of licensure. The organization wrote, to the degree that he seemed to offer a definitive diagnosis, including a pharmacological assessment without careful evaluation or
How
referral.
could he actually give a legal diagnosis if he's clinical psychologist certificate, whatever it is, run out, you know? Like I say, I don't put much stock in, you know, certificates, you know, qualifications, stuff like that. But if someone is a clinical psychologist who kind of messes with your head a little bit, well, tries to get things out of you, talking to you and all that, not exactly like what do you call it, psychiatrist, but a psychologist, they're a bit lower level, aren't they? But still, play out your head. So you'd think if someone was going to do that, you'd kind of want them to have a bit of experience in it at least, you know?
Yep, that's fair.
You know Dr. Phill, don't you? From, you know, the
Dr. Phill, that's the one that has
bald head.
Yeah, that's the one that I've seen memes about Dr. Phill, but that's all I know.
You would, yeah. Well, he's correct. Yeah, kind of exploits people, so I suppose you would.
Yeah, that's all I really know about Dr. Phill is through the memes.
Yeah. Well, I just noticed that Dr. Phill paired a shot of Jeffrey Dahmer with one of a 9-year-old boy. What? Why would you do that? Wow. Anyway.
They also may be subject to legal sanctions for practicing medicine without a license. This was bolstered by the view of their executive director, who prescribed Phil's conduct as mind-boggling. Diagnosing a child as a potential serial killer on television.
Yeah, that's like Graham from the UK one, her and Jeremy Kyle. Like Jeremy Kyle was obviously the host, but then they had the doctor type person, Graham, who Jeremy called a genius. You probably know. Well, he kind of did that as well. Gets outsourced, you know, gets sources from other places that they're not professional with and stuff like that.
Ooh.
Yeah, that does happen, obviously. Yeah.
That's pretty ugly ethically.
Yeah, of course it is. But that's what TV's about, isn't it? You know, They don't care.
I
As
mean,
long as
yeah,
they make money. I mean, they do
as
help some people, but they have a lot of victims. These TV programs.
yeah,
They have a lot of
as
victims.
TV, it's exploitative.
I think so too. I think so too. I think so too, bro. I mean, I don't deny that they probably help some people, but they're not doing it for that, and they're not doing it for that. It's the spondules, it's the money.
Incredibly irresponsible. Dr. Phill purports to be a mental health professional, but he's diagnosing from videotape on the air to suggest the father spend more time and they should go fishing.
Diagnosing from videotape on the air. So is he diagnosing people like that have sent in videos or something like that, and he's not actually obviously he sees some of them face to face, but through videos? And he had a roster of nutritionists and consultants that he's ready for his guests. I mean, that's understandable, but that's standard when it comes to this kind of thing. When they're doing that on TV, I think it should be standard. But again, people can be helped through this, but there's obviously people also that have not agreed, have not liked what they've done with them or whatever, because it's I just see anything like that when they bring it on TV. Yes, the guest knows, but they're lied to as well on the phone. Yeah, this will happen, that will happen, like they do in Jeremy Kyle. People, Jeremy Kyle actually told, like, not himself, but like the backstage would say to certain guests, just play up a little bit, got to act a bit, sad here, or get angry there, just so Jeremy Kyle could shout it, because that's what the audience expected of Jeremy Kyle. I've already done a stream with Jeremy Kyle. He's an awful man. He's an awful man. Oh, he was right a lot. But it was his delivery. It was terrible. It's just how he spoke to people, especially since he was, he's been in addiction himself, gambling, drinking. He went with prostitutes while he was with his wife and all that. He was being hypocritical, he was painting himself really whiter than white, but then slagging these people off. Yeah, there is some that'll claim, just for the sake of it, sexual exploitation and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm not saying that everybody is, legit who makes an accusation against these people. But look, if you're involved with Oprah Winfrey, I'm sorry. He came from Oprah Winfrey. If you're involved with people like that, I'm sorry, you're part of the class that I don't like.
These are very serious disorders, he continued. You have to take them very seriously and treat them like any other serious health problem. It's unethical to do that sort of...
But sometimes it's not even about what they've said about their diagnosis. Sometimes it's how they were treated, I mean, I don't know about like every single victim of Dr. Phill, but I'm talking about from experience with other ones that I know about, And I've seen a few, and Ellen DeGeneres, man, she's awful. She is so awful. And then she comes over here to hide. She lives in London.
You will, pop psychology, to the point of looking at a child on videotape and saying this child exhibits most of the signs of being a serial killer. You don't do that for rating.
Right. Looking at a kid on a videotape and saying this kid has most of the signs of a serial killer. That's terrible. That's terrible. Yeah, no, I agree with you, Heron. That definitely happens also. That definitely happens. But yeah, that's
basically, I guess, turning vulnerable people into content.
Content. Exactly that. Exactly. Money, exactly. Clicks
and
views.
Yeah, that's bad.
And even though TV is going downhill, the people like Dr. Phill and things like that will have YouTube channels and they will clip farm. Guaranteed.
This is a human being, as would become a recurring theme. Phill denied any wrongdoing, with the spokesman saying that over the course of the child's life, the parents had sought extensive medical and psychological evaluation, and medical experts ruled out any medical cause, including mental illness.
So, like, they've already had that. So a spokesman for Dr. Phill said that over the course of the child's life, right, okay, so, and then they got no, and then straight away Dr. Phill would say, well, You know, this child's got to be a serial killer. Yeah, I know. I get that. But that's tongue in cheek. That's tongue in cheek. But sometimes you can see that. But as a professional, really, should you be saying that on live TV? Even if it was true, that shouldn't be said on live TV. That kid's going to be a serial killer. That shouldn't be said.
Dr. Phill reviewed the extensive history of the case with independent psychologists and chose to focus on educating the parents on the familial aspects. The child's physician was consulted about the appropriateness of the family participating, and his written consent was given. In this instance, he made a broad diagnostic statement about the kid that he wasn't licensed to treat in such a way. But this is by no means the last time that he and his team would land in hot water over their treatment of a guest on the show. Back in 1982, Lori Bambi Bembenek was sentenced to life in prison for killing her husband's first wife. While behind bars, she wound up escaping out of a laundry room and was then released in 1992. Throughout the whole ordeal, she always maintained her innocence and wanted to find some way to clear her name. This was when Dr. Phill got involved. With the producers,
Yeah, but I would say, look, if he said that, it was for like drama reasons, you know, to hype it up a bit. That kid probably had problems, but probably was nowhere near going to be a serial killer, you know. I just don't think that should be said in telly. But yeah, of course, if you had someone that you thought would be a serial killer next door, of course you'd want to know. But, you know, this is something that can't be proved. It's just Dr. Phil's word. Medical about COVID was, you know, well, we've already spoke about that. That was terrible. That was bullcrap.
Paying $25K to test the DNA evidence on the trial. But before she could even get on camera, the treatment she received resulted in a disaster. Faced with the constant videotaping and a 24 hours a day guard that stood outside a rented apartment in Marina del Rey that she was confined to, this experience naturally invoked some traumatic old feelings in a former convict. Unwilling to remain confined, Bambi tried to jump out of the window, but she broke her leg so badly that it required amputation. This led to a lawsuit, with Bambi saying that she held Dr. Phill personally responsible for ruining her life before she died just 8 years later. Each time that Dr. Phill and the team waded into true crime, there seemed to be ethical issues and litigation to follow.
I remember that kid, he was, wow. Wow. This kid was, this is not the kid that we're talking about, I don't think, because this kid was already a murderer, you know? This kid murdered his parents, I think. Didn't he kill his parents, this kid? This kid was so creepy, man. Have you ever seen him before? So creepy. He just sits there, he's head down, smacks and smiles. Yeah, he's so creepy, bro. I think he murdered his mum and dad. Or it could have been someone else, but he murdered someone.
Waded into true crime, there seemed to be ethical issues and litigation to follow. Following the disappearance of Natalie Holloway from Aruba, Deepak Kalpo and Satish Kalpo, who were implicated in the case, believed that they were being treated unfairly by an episode of the show.
You did it. Don't take a part.
I know you were saying that one mind, Darren, that you were saying the reason you were right is because of life experience.
From me or anyone else because you won't dance. If you did not do it, you're foolish. And the question I'll ask you is, if you intentionally kill her, if there was an accident, I can help fault. And if you guys were party, even if somebody had given her a date drug, I'm sure she had all of you.
You're surprised how simple it is.
Well, let me ask you this, that for $25, you could pay a bartender to slip your date a drug in her drink. Does that happen?
I never joked so much.
Enough sick that is. You pay a bartender to slip a Mickey. You know what I mean? Someone's drink, roofie or whatever. That's disgusting. Now, I'm not saying that not Dr. Phill doing that. He's talking in general. That I'm just saying that's disgusting, man.
I mean, have you heard that now?
I haven't heard the bartender's drug. I know the rest of their coffee. I know that they sucking that implicates it. It's quite frankly just like a slut. Doc led one would go in a car with 3 strange guys, and her mother claiming her to be visited weepy shoes
A group.
And up with the PS alleged.
Goody two shoes. It didn't sound like you said that. It's a gloopy. It sounded like something else.
Claiming her to be visited weepy shoes.
Goopy shoes. It didn't say goody two shoes. It said goopy shoes.
And up with the PS alleged. Is the person that saw something in the morning hours.
That's the dart. The gardener is the one that stepped beside you guys at 3 o'clock when statements were made. This guy remembers exactly kind while said could speak that night. He identified every one of you in the lineup except for one of you. I don't know which one will be in fact brother, but he didn't. And they said because the brother was laying in the back seat, and that's going to kill.
The Calpo's suit against Dr. Phill maintained that an interview filmed with the brothers was manipulated and later broadcasted by the Dr. Phill show as being accurate and portrayed it as engaging in criminal activity against Natalie Holloway and constitutes defamation per se. Aside from these harrowing court cases that Phill and the team waded into, there have been accusations that they basically endangered the lives of some of those people that they were apparently striving to help. Over the course of the show's tenure,
Now, I don't know about that, but you know Jeremy Kyle. I want to keep going back to Jeremy Kyle. But in his dressing rooms, in his rooms and all that, there was a fridge, you know, and he put, well, obviously the workers there, the backstage workers and all that, the production crew, whatever, would put these alcoholics and drug addicts and all that in the room, and in the fridge would be alcohol, you know, sort of thing. And what's going to happen? They're going to drink it. And then that's another reason that Jeremy Kyle can shout at him. They did that. And that's awful. You know, that's awful. And then he'd send them to rehab after sticking bloody alcohol in the blooming, you know, in the fridge.
there were many instances where Dr. Phil's team provided no-cost substance use disorder treatment to guests in return for the show's promotion. Among the most notable examples of this is Todd Herzog. Previously brought to the world's attention
Evan, this is just a 30-minute video, though. I've got one that's like 3 hours long on him, but I didn't want to do that one. You know, this is just an abbreviated version of some victims. But yeah, I agree. One that jumped out the window, yeah, I wouldn't give that any credence. You know, she jumped out the window.
his time on Survivor, he struggled with alcohol for the vast majority of his adult life and was portrayed as a real mess during his first appearance on Phil's show.
Shoot.
Todd, Dr. Phill.
Now, see, that shouldn't happen. You know, he's steaming. He's drunk. He's drunk. They shouldn't bring him out on TV whilst he's drunk. You know, if he got drunk, if they told him to stay sober and he got drunk, you know, they shouldn't have took him out. They shouldn't have showed that. You know, like you could tell he's being held. He's actually drunk. I mean, they've even got breathalyzing him. Shouldn't have done that. Should not have done that. That's awful.
Nice to meet you.
How you feeling, man? Can you walk?
Can you walk?
Barely.
Can you walk? You've seen two people helping him. Can you walk?
I'll help.
All right.
Sorry, I'm very...
That's all right. Brandon, why don't you get over there and take Debbie's spot?
This should be done in private, not on a bloody TV show.
Yeah, I'll go.
You're not okay.
No.
You said you're
Nah.
okay, but you're not okay. You're not even almost okay.
No.
You know who I am?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, even if he worked in a reality show, he's a wanker, but it's still, this shouldn't be done on TV. Really shouldn't be done on TV.
Of course I know who you are.
Following disappearance, he was sent to a 90-day rehab, but relapsed afterwards. But it turns out that this
If you're
might have
going
not
to go away to rehab, I'm sorry, like these little short time, like few weeks, even 90 days is only 3 months, quarter of a year. It's not long enough. You need to be, I had to be away for a long time. And I still fell a few years later, you know, well, maybe a little less than a few years, but I was away for a long time. These little stints, people usually get clean, think they can come out, have some more drugs or some more drink and think they can deal with it. Usually, you know. Yeah, he agreed to it, but I just don't think they should have asked him to do it whilst he agreed to it. I just don't think it should. Yes, they know what these people agreed to these things. That doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it right that they do it just because they agreed to it. But yeah, They did. Of course, they agreed to it. Of course, they agreed to it.
Been a mere issue of will on his part, and that in reality, the producers set him up for failure. Before that original visit, Todd had suggested that showrunners left a bottle of vodka in his dressing room, which he then drank.
Jeremy Kyle did that also, and it wouldn't surprise me if that happened. Why is my thing glitching out again?
After arriving sober. Next, he was given a Xanax and told that it would calm his nerves, despite the fact that consuming alcohol alongside this medication having potentially disastrous results.
And I'm sober, I'm hurting a lot, and I'm shaking. My dad was there, and I went and talked to him in his dressing room, and I was completely sober. And then they pull me into my dressing room, and there was 2 liters of vodka and like some Red Bulls and orange juice and stuff like that. You know, being unsupervised by my parents, I drank the entire bottle.
You had me,
and then at some point,
me, Oprah.
somebody gave me Xanax. They said, this will calm your nerves. And so I had been drinking and took a Xanax, which I've never taken before in my life.
Well, Xanax is benzos. You don't mix alcohol and benzos, bro. You don't mix alcohol and benzos. You know, and Xanax is a very strong benzo.
And I know that can be a deadly combination.
Yes.
So why it was given to me, I don't know.
After that, leaving vodka in the dressing room.
Given to him. And they left the vodka in the dressing room. I don't know if this is true. I mean, he could just be saying that. He was certainly drunk, but, you know, I don't know. He could just be saying that they left it there. I don't know.
Became routine, with one handler reportedly giving Herzog a shot before appearances to help prevent a seizure. Of course, Dr. Phill and co. released a statement which
they would do if you're addicted to drinking spirits and you haven't had any in your system, you know, yeah, they don't just take you straight off it. They would have to give you a little shot to keep you chill, but that wasn't a shot. You were steaming.
Proclaimed that this was absolutely, unequivocally untrue. But it's notable that he isn't the only one who's made these claims. It was a complete bust. Marianne Smith, a family member of an individual who allegedly assessed the drugs through the show, said, "Didn't help at all, just ratings for him. People are going to him, like us, with serious life-threatening problems looking for help. It just doesn't happen." It doesn't merely resolve around those who are relapsing either. During her time on Dr. Phill House in 2007, Shirley Rado claimed that she had been held against her will and forced to be in the same room with a completely naked man while he exposed his entire naked body, genitals and all. Doe further alleged that she was deprived of sleep and food, as well as being brainwashed and subjected to edited tapings.
I'm just wondering if Michael Jackson's doctor was there. It might have been him, you know.
Depicting her as a different personality other than her own. On October 9th, 2007, she claims that Dr. Phill touched her left breast during a therapy.
Probably producer of Survivor paid Phill to give him a deadline. Right.
Session.
Nice.
Dr. Phill is nothing what he's like on TV, Doe told People by phone, adding that another woman will be joining her suit. You have no idea what I and this other woman went through. But as always, Phil's team sought to discredit it all immediately, stating all of Shirley Rado's claims are made without merit. Dr. Phil's lawyers responded in a statement. Once Ms. Doe expressed her discomfort, and producers are certain there was nothing they could do to help her, so they called a car service to return her to her home. And while the lawsuit was initially dismissed, she later won on appeal in 2019. During his extensive run on national television, there were plenty of vulnerable people who clung to Dr. Phill in the hopes of having their lives improved, only for their problems to be made into entertainment fodder. However, it wasn't just regular citizens who were used in this manner either. In 2009, Dr. Phill got himself deeply involved in Britney Spears' ongoing predicament. This began when he visited her at Cedars-Sinai Hospital following a standoff with the cops and her ex, Kevin Federline, over the pop star refusing to hand her kids over to their father, which led to a fully fledged mental breakdown. Soon, he made it into this tangled web due to his wife.
Well, you know, Britney Spears, you know, they're part of the Hollywood thing. There's a lot of them that are probably MK Ultra and stuff like that. You know what I mean? You've seen what Britney Spears was like back in the day and what's happening. And like, there's a lot of her apparently on TikTok doing dances and stuff, but it kind of looks AI. People are saying, I haven't watched, but I've seen a few little things, but she does kind of look like it's not her, you know. So I don't know. It's probably keeping her head down and using AI instead. I don't know. But you know, there's few of these singers and Hollywood stars that have gone through this kind of mental break because of, well, you know, what's on their shoulders. They know what's going on in Hollywood.
Being friends with Britney's family, and as the world yearned for years over what had gone down, it was Dr. Phill who gave the world an unsolicited update. My meeting with Britney Spears and some of her family members this morning in her room at Cedars leaves me convinced more than ever that she is in dire need of both medical and psychological intervention. Like seeing dollar signs and ratings looming, Dr. Phill probably envisioned a situation where she'd come onto his show, and
I was going to say, Dr. Phil's definitely got veneers in there, man. They're veneered.
investigation would be
Look at that watch, though. The size of the winder on it. Wow.
staged on live television.
That's
Instead,
cool.
he was blasted by a spokesperson for the family over this blatant severing of trust. What's wrong with Dr. Phil's statement is that he made a statement, a spokesperson said. The family basically extended an invitation of trust for him to come in as a resource to support them, not to go out and make public statements. Any public statements that he made, because he was brought in under the cloak of trust, are just inappropriate. Immediately, Dr. Phill tried to save face and suggested that intentions were always on the level. I can tell you that it didn't cross my mind because we never intended to do a show with Britney at all. I was followed into the hospital. I was followed out of the hospital. I didn't need to draw attention to the fact that I had been there. If you noticed in that statement, I said not a word, not one syllable about anything that took place while I was there.
Who asked you to come down to Cedars?
I want to set the record straight. I went to see Brittany at the request of her family. I talked to Lynn, I talked to Jamie, I talked to Brian, her brother. They were very frustrated that she apparently wasn't going to be held for a longer period of time. Thursday night, the phone rang, and it was Lynn.
I
She had a very
believe
close
it.
relationship with my wife, Robin, and clearly she was very upset, which you would expect. Any parent would be.
How long have you been involved in Brittany's situation?
I was first contacted by her family over a year ago and have maintained a running dialogue with them throughout the last year.
Despite his best efforts to profess his innocence, the heat got so bad that there was eventually a degree of remorse over how it was handled. If I had to do it over again, I probably wouldn't say a word, McGraw continued. But let me be clear. I certainly do not apologize for trying to help this family or this girl in trouble. McGraw added, my intentions were good, and I wish I had helped or had some positive effect, but clearly it did not. Unfortunately for his public image, Dr. Phill wouldn't necessarily learn his lesson when it came to trying to capitalize on a public figure in
She shaved her napper. Shaved her napper. You know, it's in that weird that like I've noticed. I know somebody else that did that. Like I mean, I know I'm not with her anymore, but you know, Vicky did that. Not when I was with her, like years and years and years ago, when she went through like a mental breakdown or something. She told me she shaved all her hair off. Don't know why. I mean, but yeah, in the man, it's like some women that go through mental breaks to shave their hair off. But in Hollywood, this is meant to be like a humiliation ritual, shaving your hair off. Whether that's what it was or not, I don't know.
rife. When famed actress Shelley Duvall reemerged from a lengthy self-imposed exile, suddenly the actress who
I was going to say, look at the difference from her there. You can tell it's her, but look at the difference. I know she's older, but she just does not look like. I know Shelley Duvall was really like skinny. She was too skinny back in that day. But you know, yeah, it just and when you hear her talking, you probably won't, yeah. But she certainly was going through some things. You know, Stanley Kubrick didn't help that. She let herself go. Absolutely. She got worse than this. She was on the street and everything at one point, I think. Same as Margaret Kidder. Margaret Kidder ended up on the street.
Shelley Duvall reemerged from a lengthy self-imposed exile. Suddenly, the actress who'd once starred in The Shining alongside Jack Nicholson seemed to be in the midst of a crisis. And this was exactly when Dr. Phill believed that it was the right time for a 45-minute interview.
The Shining's Shelley Duvall, from red carpet to near recluse.
I loved Robin Williams. I don't think he's dead.
Where do you think he is?
Oh, yeah.
Shape-shifting.
She thinks Robin Williams is shape-shifting, you know, so she certainly went through a thing, you know. I know some people believe in shapeshifters and all. I believe that there's certain things out there because of the Nephilim, absolutely. But when it comes to these, like Robin Williams and that shapeshifted, no. And I do think he's dead. I don't think he's that other guy on YouTube. That other guy does sound like him a little bit, looks like him a little bit, but I just don't think it's him. Do I think that some of the people who are allegedly dead are actually dead? Some of them, but not them all. Not them all. I still think there's a few alive, but I think Robin Williams is gone. I really do. It's just the feeling I get. It's nothing, no evidence whatsoever. I just don't think he's that guy on YouTube that everybody says he is. It's a possibility. I mean, I do admit it's a possibility.
Do you see him?
Yes.
A star's descent into mental illness.
Right, see that picture of her there?
Do you see him?
A star.
Look at the difference there. She's beautiful there. Look at that. She's beautiful there.
Descent into mental illness.
The man who's threatening me is the sheriff of Nottingham. I think there's a worrying disc inside me.
She would, but she would. But do I believe that everybody in Hollywood that claims shapeshifters and Illuminati actually know absolutely everything? No. Some of them more than others, absolutely. Because there's probably a little bit of compartmentalization in Hollywood too. Probably a bit of that going on. But yeah, she would know more than us, 100%, Aaron.
I'm very sick. I need help.
Well, that's why I'm here.
That's Friday.
And while he claimed he was there to help, many people didn't believe that was the case. Among them was Vivian Kubrick, the daughter of the famed director of The Shining, who believed that what he did was appallingly cruel.
How can you know of Stanley Kubrick and pronounce his name Kubrick? Man, he was a complete arsehole to Shelley Duvall. Just for the sake of getting the best shots and the best footage. But he was a complete ass to her. He scared her, frightened her, exhausted her, make her take shots like footage scenes about 45, 50, 80 times. Even though the first one may have been perfect. He wanted her exhausted, to look the way she did in that movie. Phill probably grabbing her. Oh, come on. Dude. I'm not. YouTube held that back. I'll show it, but dude.
Shelley Duvall was a movie star, she writes. Whatever dignity a mere unfortunate creature might have in this world is denied by your displaying of her in this way. Kubrick then calls for a boycott of Dr. Phil's show because it has nothing to do with compassionate healing. The viewpoint was pretty consistent across everyone that saw it, but Phill insisted he'd done more for her than was broadcasted.
It was promoted in a way that people thought was unbecoming.
I wouldn't. The only thing I think that should be put out publicly is corruption when it comes to people's health and stuff like that. No, I don't think it should be done publicly. No, I don't. I get what you're saying. I understand the sentiment, absolutely, and understand why you're saying it, but I just wouldn't. No, not me personally. No, I wouldn't want it to be done publicly on TV. I mean, publicly, call things out that are very, very corrupt and stuff like that. Absolutely. But when it comes to her health, no, I wouldn't have. No. Even though there was corruption and that there and what she said, just to say what she's seen and said is true, still no. Still no. Okay. Breasts is better. YouTube still held it.
And there are parts of that story that I haven't talked about and won't talk about in specific, but I can say generally that we worked with her family. We worked with her for over a year.
It turns out that the person at the center of this controversy agreed with those who were critiquing him too, as by the sounds of it, Shelley regretted ever taking part in it. I found out the kind of person that he is the hard way, Duvall said. My mother didn't like him either. A lot of people like Dan said, you shouldn't have done that, Shelley. He started calling my mother, don't call my daughter anymore. But he started calling my mother all the time, trying to get her to let me talk to him again, she said. Through each instance of Phill
Yeah,
prioritizing
see, to
personal
me,
gain
that's
over
what.
pulling in viewers over the welfare of the person, it becomes clear that he has no reservations about sacrificing morals for money. And sure enough, there have been plenty
Oh,
of times where he's done
oh yeah, yeah. Okay, I get you, Heron. Absolutely, yeah. I've got you now. Got you now.
exactly that on a larger scale than just one individual who's been exploited on television. Over the years, Dr. Phil has given his stamp of approval to various products, and not all of them have landed well with the public. Shortly after he obtained fame, Phil endorsed a line of weight loss supplements known as Shape Up under a licensing deal with CSA Nutraceuticals. Suddenly, a psychologist was selling nutritional supplements, including vitamin packets, power bars, and
Even on YouTube now, people are getting these sponsors for things like that, dietitian thing, and especially the gym bros. They all get their sponsors if they've got decent bodies and all that, and they're constantly uploading. They get their brand deals and that. Yeah, so there's a lot of money goes into these brands when it comes to diet stuff and weight gain stuff or muscle gain stuff and all that. It's a lot of money in it.
meal replacement drinks, and unsurprisingly, it left people a little baffled. As soon as we heard the prospect of him going into the nutritional food category, it was kind of like, what? Said Sid Good, the president of Good Marketing, a consumer products consultant in Cleveland. It's always different when you step into the medical field. There are a different set of assumptions that we make as consumers in terms of what our expectations are and the appropriateness of who's giving us the advice. But practically as soon as they were out, the line was discontinued by CSA Nutraceuticals, as it faced a Federal Trade Commission investigation into false advertising concerns.
They all false advertise somewhere or another, but they get off with it through a loophole of some sort. Oh, you can lose, you can gain what? 10 pounds of muscle in a month. Yeah, right. Yeah, if you take steroids. In Psalms.
According to the label, the pills contained scientifically researched levels of ingredients that can help you change your behavior to take control of your weight. But under scrutiny, they did no such thing, leading to a $10 million lawsuit settlement intended to compensate those who were duped. Somewhere along the line, a VR program sparked major controversy, with Dr. Phil's path to recovery being rolled out to treatment centers.
Bye, Luca. Just disappeared without even saying bye. Bye, Luca. See, I told you just... What does he come here for? Just to say hello?
The problem was false promises from the VP of Sales, Jim Schreiner. In light of the fact that at least 4 centers that used the product have been featured on the show, Schreiner allegedly told the customer, "Our job is to get your phones to ring and the admissions hopefully follow."
Right.
Treatment centers could purchase the program for $3,500 to $7,000 per month, with his comments suggesting a pay-to-play situation that may lead them to being featured on his platform. But while these centers would be right to feel angered about it, that's nothing compared to how enraged the people who were sent to certain camps endorsed by Dr. Phill.
Oh, yeah, I did hear about some of these, and some of these camps were like treated them badly. And I know a lot of these camps are about discipline. I went to rehab, Christian rehab, for a year and a half. It was all about discipline, tucking in your shirts, having to shave every day, even though you had no stubble. It had to be done, and they'd be able to tell if you didn't, like all these petty little rules. Now I get that, but I was expecting that, well, I wasn't expecting how strict it completely was, but I was completely undisciplined. But yeah, some people ain't used to that kind of thing, and it was probably not just that, like they couldn't adhere to the rules and that, and there was a lot of abuse going on, verbal abuse, that kind of thing, mental abuse.
Among them was Turnabout Ranch, a treatment facility in Escalante, Utah, which is marketed as a therapeutic program for troubled teens that has been accused of a lot of heinous things. Amid a sea of allegations, Bad Baby,
That's
who
right,
was
Dr.
introduced to
Phill
the
sent
world
him
as the
now.
Cash Me Outside girl, lifted the lid on
Cash Me Outside.
everything that happened, while also issuing an ultimatum.
My will, they give you transporters. Transporters are 2 people, a male and a female, that come in the middle of the night. They don't tell them where they're going. They just take them, they handcuff them, they put them in the car. It's basically like kidnapping. We got there, I got out of the car, and I just seen it looked like nothing. It was
Bad Baby was her name. It's up there. BHAD BHABIE. Bad Baby. That's right. Catch Me Outside.
super.
But she earns a good bit of money from being Dr. Phil. She gained financially because of it, you know.
Dark. I seen like all the circles.
Yeah,
and
but
stuff.
there's a difference between discipline and mental abuse and verbal abuse, you know. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
And I seen the little cabin and I was like, oh shit, I'm not built for this. Like, I'm this little bougie ass. So for the first 3 days you're there, there's no showering. They put you in a circle, which is it's a teepee. It's a little teepee, but it's open. And you have to sit there for 3 days. They wouldn't let me lay down for nothing. So, Dr.
You have
Phil,
to sit.
I'm going to give you from now.
They have to sit there for 3 days. I mean, I don't know how much I could trust Bad Baby, but other people have said it too, you know.
Now till April 5th to issue an apology, not only to me, but to Hannah and any other child that you sent to Turnabout or any other program like this.
And perhaps the most shocking allegation of all, she even claimed that one of the kids murdered a staff member in an attempt to escape.
One morning I was cleaning up for breakfast and one of the staff members was sitting right next to me and she had her walkie on her, so I heard everything. One of the kids, he had tried to steal a car or something. Everyone was screaming on the walkies like it was really crazy, and he ended up killing one of the staff members. They made all the kids that were at Rowdy come down, and then they told us not to tell us anything. A day later, they have us all every kid that's at Turnabout, they have us all sit in a circle and they're like, listen, there was an incident. I know some of y'all heard it over the walkies. Jimmy died. And so we're all freaking out because Jimmy was, like I said, he was one of the
Right. Murder charge for teen accused of killing worker at Uton troubled youth ranch. Oh.
Hi.
Hi. Salt Lake City, an Arizona teenager was charged with aggravated murder Friday in the brutal slaying of a worker at a southern Utah ranch for troubled teens. Clay Brewer, 17, attacked a man from behind with a weapon when he came to check on a group of teenagers sitting around a campfire on a frigid morning, police said.
that was there the first day I got there. He was really sweet. Not only did Jimmy die, but one of the other staff members that was there at the time, Alicia, who was the daughter of the nurse. Alicia, she was also injured, and 2 years later she died.
Oh, wow.
And she was also left disabled after being attacked by Clay. So the mother of the kid Clay who killed staff, she was married to the brother of the president of the program, which I also believe is a conflict of interest. I don't know why they would do that. So it was really
calling it a program, but you know, because these programs do program you sometimes, you know.
sad. Like they wouldn't tell us what happened and all that. And any of the kids that were there, like they couldn't talk about it, but they were like really traumatized by it.
Around the same time, another former attendee by the name of Hannah Archuleta filed a lawsuit alleging that he had been punished for reporting an alleged by a staff member. Hannah was paralyzed with fear, the complaint states. She was a minor. She had recently arrived, and she carried the heavy stigma of her patient status. The male staff member, by contrast, was not only a grown man, but was in a position of authority over her as a turnabout staff member. As an adult with control over Hannah, he made her feel powerless. Then there was Elizabeth Vernon, who sued after claiming she was subjected to hours of stress positions.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
All right, you're saying bye. Okay, laters, bro.
Laters.
Ta-da. Take care, buddy.
Take care, you too.
They came in to say bye.
Threats of suffocation, exposure to animal abuse, and regular public
Animal
humiliation.
abuse.
During her stay, Elizabeth was subjected to sleep deprivation, denied food, and yet forced to eat and prepare meat, which was
Yeah, I've heard from other people about the sleep deprivation thing. And sitting up for 3 days, man, not allowed to lie down. It must be some kind of discipline thing, but that takes it too far when you're doing that. You still need to sleep. Excuse me, you still need to eat, you still need to sleep, you know. During her stay, Elizabeth was subjected to deep sleep deprivation. Denied food, and yet forced to eat and prepare meat, which was abhorrent to her as a vegetarian. The ranch threatened her with restraints and force feeding with a tube if she did not comply. You know, some of these places do this, like the old asylums. It sounds like an old asylum, you know. But I knew a modern version of it. The ranch forced physical labor and excessive exercise in extreme temperatures. Boot camps do that. Excessive exercise, definitely. It forced her regularly to put her hands up in a sink filled with bleach. to wash dishes until they bled, leaving to this day scars on her knuckles.
Important to her as a vegetarian. Her 34-page complaint stated the ranch threatened her with restraint and force feeding with a tube if she did not comply. The ranch forced physical
he read
labor
it
and
anyway.
excessive exercise in extreme temperatures. It forced her regularly to put her hands in a sink filled with bleach to wash dishes until they bled, leaving to this day scars on her knuckles. Despite evidence being presented, U.S. District Judge Clark Wattups dismissed the complaint due to the 2-year statute of limitations that applies for claims involving a healthcare provider. The issues at Turnabout weren't exclusive to them either, with Dr. Phill alumni Sierra Myers expressing similar concerns about another facility known as Island View. According to her family, Sierra was subjected to mindless tasks of blind obedience and forced by cruel punishment at Island View, leading up to a melee with Mortensen and mindless guards, alongside making the allegation that the math teacher at the facility broke her arm. And even though he didn't run the facility, the family wanted to throw the book at the TV personality in particular. Dr. Phill has shown himself to be more of a showman interested in ratings than a psychologist devoted to healing, the complaint states. Dr. Phill, on information and belief, was paid either in money or notoriety, or both, for endorsing not only Island View, but also a raft of CRC compounds just as abusive. In the case of these camps, Dr. Phill could possibly plead ignorant. After all, he can only suggest them based on what he knew at the time. However, it seems like there was a dark side of his day-to-day operations too, with a BuzzFeed report revealing that many former staff spoke of a hostile workplace. I would have nightmares. I would literally be working in my sleep and have nightmares about something being wrong or not turning in something the right way, the former employee said. Even when I quit, I had to go to therapy for it, which is crazy because you're working for a therapist. Everyone was just pretty miserable. You would walk into the building and there was a palpable dread and anxiety, another former employee said. Dr. Phill, the show about mental health where everybody who works on it has terrible mental health because our work conditions were really bad. Alongside the issues that the staff endured, ex-employees also suggested that there was a real darkness to what happened behind the scenes. We were basically instructed, make sure that she doesn't take her medication before she goes on stage, because they wanted her to look unstable and quote-unquote crazy, for lack of a better term, the employee said. She did take the medication because no one got there in time, and I remember thinking, my God, I don't want to be the one to tell them or dissuade them from that. And that's all for the sake of TV. Obviously, this girl should be on her medication, and that's what we're trying to get her help for. But for the sake of TV, they wanted her to look off the rails. And while the former director described the culture around the show,
that's what I'm saying, they do want you to look off the rails. Like the Jeremy Kelly want you to look off the rails, angry, sad, whatever, ecstatic, depending on the, for the format and the topic.
Inclusive, positive environment. These revelations contributed to the show's already faltering reputation being tanked. Dr. Phill is probably one of the most messed up shows there are. It's probably fake.
Yeah,
even if it is, it's.
I wouldn't say it's completely fake. There's some things probably faked. Like a lot of them, like Jerry Springer. There's I think there's worse than Dr. Phill. I mean, I'm not saying he's somebody with a moral standing or the best moral standing or whatever, but I dare say there's worse than Dr. Phill. I mean, I know there's worse than Dr. Phill.
Still messed up that people believe it's real and support it. Any parent who takes their child to be humiliated on stage in front of millions of people instead of seeking professional help should have their child taken
rather than
away.
doing it on TV. There's some the people who went to Jeremy Kyle and people who go to Dr. Phill. They do it because it's free usually. They do it because it's free and they don't have to pay anything. They get on there, they get to be seen on TV, that type of thing. That's probably why.
With his image blemished beyond all recognition, it came as no surprise when the show was brought to an end in 2023. And for those
Samuel L. there, okay.
Those who were critical of his approach, they
it's
decided
actually
it was
ended now. Is Dr. Phill actually ended now? Oh, I thought so. You're just watching reruns, Aaron. Okay.
time to celebrate his departure. One professor of media studies by the name of Taylor Cole Miller gave his first-hand take on what he'd seen there. declaring, "The Dr. Phil tapings I went to were manipulative, unethical, and representative of bad television production practices for a show that claims to be intellectually honest and moral."
Yeah,
Down the
I don't
line,
think so.
he elaborated further on his
I don't think
experience,
so.
revealing, "At one taping I attended, we had a Michael Jackson dance-off. People were excited and happy, and I even got a Dr. Phil heart-shaped stress ball. That episode was about teens. After it wrapped, they moved us to different spots in the studio to tape a second show, and the dance-off continued. We thought maybe this one will be a lighter episode. The second episode was about teens who seriously abused their parents.
Oh,
The sudden
wow.
crash of being slammed with such a heavy topic, after being produced to be silly and giddy, felt either extremely
That just shouldn't
psychological."
be showed in TV. Like, kids that abuse their parents just should not, even if they want to be on TV to show it, it just should not be a thing. This kind of thing should be done in private.
manipulative, or
What parent really wants to show publicly that their kid abuses them? Really? Wow. I mean, there's something wrong with the parents as well, not just Dr. Phill. Indeed, the consensus among critics is that pulling McGraw. And who's McGraw? Is that another TV show? McGraw.
grossly incompetent. Miller continued, "My educated guess is that this kind of production is intentional on Dr. Phil, because the quick juxtaposition between those sentiments will elicit a more emotional response." Even after the CBS show concluded, Dr. Phil tried to make
There you
something
go.
on his own by launching Dr. Phil.
On YouTube, I told you, he'll get on YouTube, 500,000 subs. He'll be making money off that 500,000 subs, guaranteed. Clip farming from his old shows and that. No doubt. No doubt. Prime time. And I guarantee he got like 100,000 subs within the first 2 days. I was watching a YouTube video earlier where someone who's already a big YouTuber decided to open a new channel, and it was some kind of test thing where he got someone that was already viral on YouTube and earned a lot of money and copied the exact same videos but slightly changed them a bit to see if he could go viral again. And it did. It did. So once you're on YouTube, people see a video with you in it again. That's it. You get more and more, once you're known. It's just crazy. Yeah, I've been sitting with from 30 subscribers 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, maybe when I started streaming. I don't know, 2.5 years ago, I think it was, to 733 now. So 700 in 2.5 years. And people are getting 700 a day. I see television as a Babylon entity. They need your permission. After that, anything goes. McGraw is Phil's life. Oh, that's what I kind of thought. That's what I thought when I heard someone say McGraw earlier. I thought it was his last name, but when I seen that it said McGraw and Dr. Phill, I was like, what? That's why I asked, because I thought it was. Cheers for that, Aaron. But yeah, I agree with that. I see television as Babylon entity. Absolutely, man. It's part of the satanic agenda. Obviously, it can be used for good as well, but that's only because of God, because God can turn everything around for the glory of Him, But yes, definitely, I would agree. I don't even watch TV anymore. I just watch stuff online.
Primetime on his own Merritt Street media platform. Launched in April 2024, it wouldn't be long before the wheels fell off, and he was involved in a bankruptcy suit and faced a $500 million conflict with parent company Trinity Broadcast Network. At that stage, he attempted to
Is
enter
that what
into chapter.
TBN means? Trinity Broadcast Network. I bet it's nothing to do with the actual Trinity, though. It's probably to do with the satanic Trinity.
11 bankruptcy to evade paying debtors. Yet this was rejected and led him to having to enter Chapter 7 liquidation for Merritt Street instead. Since then, he has launched Envoy Media, a new media company which TBN have claimed was set up using assets from his failed deal. And if so, it would suggest that even as he moves on to a new phase of his career, Dr. Phil has lost none of the ruthlessness that's earned him his incredibly very divisive reputation. After leaving so much chaos in his wake, the image of Dr. Phil as a benevolent figure is one that will likely never be regained. And in all honesty, it looks like more widespread knowledge of his wrongdoing could have protected a lot of people from entering a world of exploitation and monetary mismanagement, where pulling in an audience at all costs was the only thing that the man at the center of it truly valued. Because from the minute that he was no longer bound to a code of conduct, it seems that his real motivations could shine through. And what the world discovered wasn't a man who only wanted to help people, but one obsessed with the bottom line and increasing his reach across the television world at all costs.
I like that. Yeah. Want to talk about your mental and physical shortcomings in front of hundreds of thousands of people on TV for some financial assistance? No solution. Hello. Okay, yeah, exactly. Oh, that's it. It's finished.
It's your boy Luesta, live from Lu Extras, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Peace. Right. Okay. We're done. We're done. Let's go over Rumble. I don't know if there's anybody thought of any fights they want to see. Or am I going to have to come up with some myself? Anyway, let's play it with a Harry Mack. I can't download Harry Macks anymore. I think he's put something in him so you can't download him. You know, that's all right. I will do some more like that. You know what I mean? Every now and again, I do. You know, I do something that's not of scripture and stuff like that. Every now and again, you know, absolutely. I'll do another one like that again. I might do another Jeremy Kyle one, but I think we've kind of covered that. We'll see what comes up. But you know, every now and again, I do something that's not scriptural, like the paedophile hunters and stuff like that. You know, I haven't done one of them in a while. Skeeter Jane, might have to do a Skeeter Jane soon. I'm painting again tomorrow, guys. So if you're not coming over with us to Rumble, just so you know. So I won't be on in the afternoon. Flats will be on at night time. So when Flats finishes, I might do a 2-hour stream then. You know, because I won't be on in the afternoon as usual. So yeah, after Flats has been on tomorrow, I'll probably do a 2-hour stream. So yeah, this week might be a little bit change with times, but back to normal next week. Well, depending. I don't know if I might have more work. It just depends. I'm sure my name will get passed about after this a bit. So I'll end up with some more jobs, sort of thing. That'd be cool. Bless up, bless up, bless up. Right. Let's see Harry Mack. Let's get a Harry Mack on the hoosh. In the hoosh, should I say. Harry Mackey. Right, where are you, Harry Mack? There you are. Videos. This one, then. It be this one.
Oh, appreciate it.
Are you about to go? You about to grab something?
We're going around looking for, doing freestyles. You guys want to hear one?
Absolutely. Listen, man, I would love to hear one.
All right, hell yeah. Let's get it, man.
Absolutely.
Let's get it. So you know the deal, man. I need like some random words to inspire. Maybe a couple from each of you.
Okay.
Dumpling? Dumpling. Nice. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Dumpling to start.
Yep. Dumpling.
All right, what was the thing?
Couple from each, you said? Yeah, we'll get a couple from each, but we can go back and forth. All right, sushi. All right, no more food and no animals. No animals, no food. Those are the most common things. But dumpling, sushi.
Buffalo,
Can you
New
do
York.
Adidas? Adidas? Yeah, sure. Buffalo, dumpling, Adidas.
Well, how many more you need?
Just one more. What'd you say?
I said Buffalo.
Buffalo.
And then how about upstate?
Buffalo and upstate. Dumpling, sushi, Adidas, Buffalo, and upstate. I think I got it. Y'all ready?
Yes, yeah, I'm ready to go, man.
Let me make sure I'm recording, actually. Hold on. That'd be a shame. Oh, yeah, we're recording. We're good. All right, here we go.
Yo, I'm being serious. You're unreal.
Oh, thank you, man. Lyrically, I run things. H-Mac got sauce like dumplings. Yeah, y'all know I'm in that mood. From dumplings to sushi, I said no more food. But I like sushi rolls because I spit with no flaw. And something like sashimi, I be spitting it raw. Yeah, 10 seconds, that's how long this took. They thought freestyles were whack because they kind of uncooked. But I told them it's the rawness that brings the appeal. I don't ever half-ass it, man, I bring it for real. And y'all know I'm out here sharing vocal love. He's rocking the anti-social social club. On the camo. I be loaded up with the ammo. Freestyles I kick, y'all know that they off the handle. Matter of fact, I lead rappers to the slaughter. My flow is water. In fact, it's Sierra Nevada. Yeah, cause I'ma get you twisted like beer. I don't want no Marlboros, not here. Sorry, my friend, I can't support in this moment. But when it comes to kicking rhymes, people know I'ma own it. Said I be loaded up with the ammo. My homies be rocking the camo. Whenever I'm spitting these lyrics, they know when I'm going to places they can't go. I truly been making it happen. I put it down for my supporters. Shouts out to the homie with the pale ale porter. Yeah, other rappers coming up stout. They be coming up short. That's not what I'm about. Y'all know when I be spitting, I be keeping it blessed. I see you match this color to your cap. You rocking the S. Well, every time I rhyme, I'm the truest man. You got the S on your clothes like Superman. Yeah, you see the S? If we talking about me, the S gotta stand for super. It's gotta stand for speed. It's gotta stand for spectacular. It's gotta stand for skill. It's gotta stand for making them stand still. Cause other rappers can't do what I do. When it comes to freestyles, dog, I'm keeping it true. Okay, you said dumplings, you said sushi. Then we came back to you. A reminder, that's what I have to do. What'd you say? I forgot. I'ma rock the spot. There was a second word that went with the plot. Thank you so much. Where's my memory going? Sweet Jesus. How the fuck can I even remember Adidas? Yo, I drop these speeches when I'm on the mic, getting hype, living life. I be building up them stripes. I'ma take it to another plane. I got just what you need. Stringing words together like you strung together beads. For the bracelet, they can't erase this. I'm here to flip shit. Backwards like the cap on your dome. We about to rip shit. People pay attention when I bust the flow. From New York City out to Buffalo. Yo, anywhere we at, I spread loves for love's sake. Giving y'all updates from down south to upstate. Wherever we at, we taking it there. All these lyrics that I spit, I'm about to do them with flair. I'm getting daps from the fans. Y'all know we gon' get props. Means a lot to me that you seen the vids up on TikTok. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Oh, my pleasure, man. That's awesome. Appreciate you guys. Portland, Oregon, actually. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. Awesome.
Did you just go see a city, just fucking do your thing, man?
Pretty much, man. Yeah.
Right, let's go over that. Anybody think of any fights? I'll just think of a couple then. Oh no. Larry Holmes versus Jerry Cooney. Right, a great historical significance in the 13th within test slate. Right, okay. Larry Holmes versus Jerry Cooney. I'm not sure about that one. Fights. Okay, let's head over Rumble first. Let's head over Rumble. See you guys over there. There's a link. Thanks for joining us here on YouTube. If you're not joining this, I'll see you tomorrow night in Flatz's, and then I stream after that. Because, like I say, I'll be doing my painting job in the afternoon. Well, in the morning, through the afternoon to evening. So, I will see you tomorrow night if you're not joining us on Rumble. See you over there. Here, the sunset's free. It's free. Indeed. Hot.